Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? I'm Davon Lewis. Welcome to another episode of the podcast as we get on things underway as we're producing and going under a full show review of AEW Revolution, which was one of the fun hot shows that I can basically say from my own personal prospect. It was great from start to finish. You couldn't ask for anything better. I'll give it basically a B minus, but it was pretty decent from all the cards, all the matches that was on the card. We had 6 title matches, which was phenomenal from Toni Khan's perspective. And also everything else went smoothly directly from each match. You couldn't ask for anything better when it comes to AEW this following evening. The title matches that was on the card tonight, we had the AEW World Championship, which was the main event. We had Sting and Darby Allin taking on the Young Bucks, the EVP'S, of course, with their new persona of being heels. We also had the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. We had Samoa Joe taking on Swerve Strickland and Hangman Adam Page. We also had the AEW Women's Champion, Toni Storm, who has been killing it lately every single week, doing everything that she can to her persona as she took on Deonna Purrazzo. That match was a hard-fought match if you really tuned in directly for that match. The next following match we ended up having was the AEW International Championship, which is Roderick taking on Orange Cassidy. I think this match fully gave a run for your money. And if you are really into the mid card right now, that match really blew my mind from start to finish. We also ended up having the Continental Crown Championship. We had Bryan Danielson taking on Eddie Kingston. This match also delivered from the best, from hard-hitting matches you could actually ask for. It fully delivered from my own personal prospect. We also had the one of the sneakers on the match. It was Christian Cage, the TNT champion, taking on Daniel Garcia. I feel like this match really delivered as well from all the matches that was directly on the card. We also feel like this is on the runner-up for the match of the year. We have Will Ospreay taking on Koneska Tateska. It was a phenomenal setup and a undercard when it came to Don Callis setting this match up. Also, if you also tune in following into Revolution, we're also getting Kyle Fletcher this following Wednesday, taking on not Kyle Wright, but he's taking on Will Ospreay in a singles bout coming up soon. And it was so much more, including so many undercard matches, including we had the Bang Bang Scissors game taking on Jeff Jarrett, Santam Singh, Jay Lethal, Will Mack, and then Private Party. It was kind of odd little pairing, but I feel like that match I just really wasn't really invested to in the pre-show, and I feel like both teams just need to just go their own separate way from both sides. The Bang Bang Scissors game, I'm just not really feeling that the whole unit. And then also we had women's tag team action. We ended up having Chris Statlander and Will Nigel taking on Julie Hart and Sky Blue, and everything else went from there. Everything else, we end up having the All-Star Scramble match that was on the card as well, which replaces the Meat Madness because we had a couple of injuries, and Tony Khan had it went ahead and posted on Twitter a couple of days ago. But that match is delivered as well from start to finish, which we already had knew exactly who's going to be dominant. It's going to be Wardlow, as Wardlow is pretty much pushing himself as to being the number one contender for the AEW World Heavyweight Champion. So it looks like he's going to be in a win whenever he decides to deliver and want to challenge Samoa Joe. But it'll be a fine take to see what happens in the long run as he's looking to put his challenge up there in the near future against Samoa Joe. He's not a shortcoming, and I feel like it's going to be a tough task for Wardlow to take down Samoa Joe directly. For the most part, let's go ahead and get into majority of the night. The night was really on the cracking. We had the undercard matches, which kicked off pretty much AEW Revolution. We ended up having the first match of the night. It was the Bang Bang Scissors gang. It was Anthony Bowens, Austin Gunn, Colton Gunn, Daddy Ass, and Switchblade Jay White, and Platinum Max Caster taking on Jay Lethal, Jeff Jarrett, Private Party, Sanam Singh, and Willie Mack. Each team would just felt like it was just an odd pairing. I feel like directly that their claim and also the Bullet Club Gold, I feel like they need to disband. That's just my own opinion. I would like to know from you guys how take what you feel about this new Bang Bang Scissors game. Do you feel like you want to see that continue to push, or would you like for it to be just going to the whole new direction from your own personal opinion? I'd like to know you guys if comment down below, or even switch over to the YouTube channel and click it down below as well. This match was really back and forth with a nice little transition tags. I really wasn't invested into this match, but it was okay for the was. The conclusion of the match really went for the distance, as they really were doing a couple of blockbusters going to hot tags, and then it went on when Anthony Bowen was getting ready to roll up and Daddy Ass hit for the hot tag, and then he hit Mac, and then Willie Mack hit with stunner, and then the Ace Crusher on Jay Lethal. And then, of course, Isaiah ended up doing a couple of Atomico, sending Tom to the crop ropes. Basically, it was just a lot of transitions back and forth in this match. And then the conclusion of the match ended up being Jay White ended up winning with the Switchblade, which with the Blade Runner. And everything else went the best there as he ended up pinning Cassidy for the victory in that match. And then the next match we ended up having was my favorite girl, Julia Hart, and when Sky Blue taking on Chris Statlander and Willow Nightingale. This match was a nice little sneaker too as well. I feel like this match went the distance. Kind of like a showcase from Tony Khan's prospect, as he's really putting the ladies in a nice light here in this tag team match. This match went a nice little distance with a couple of tag team transitional moves, nice little hard-hitting chops, everything in between, including the drop kicks, including a nice little suplexes and change. And in the conclusion of the match, Julia Hart went for her moonsault, but then of course Willow Nightingale broke it up, and then from there applied an arm bar, and then Sky Blue cut Nightingale off, and then dropped her with a missile dropkick on the floor, and then of course a couple of tracks was made from in between there. Then Sky Blue hit a duck on a kick off the top ropes, and then Will Nightingale hit the pounce and picked her up, and then got the pin from there, as basically Will Nightingale and Chris Statlander pick up the victory, and that nice Willow tag team transition that was on the kickoff show. But the majority of the night was really red hot, and the number one thing I want to give props to is to Sting, who went out on his high horse as being the AEW World Tag Team Champion. And congratulations of Sting finishing his chapter in his career. Hopefully he'll be still in the AEW in some kind of authority role, maybe a general manager. I'd like to know from you guys' hot take, what would you like to see directly where you like to see Sting in the near future? Would you like to see him go to another organization, or would you like to see him still stick around with AEW? I'd like to know from you guys' prospect from there. Moving along, we end up having Christian Cage, the AEW World TNT Championship. It was on the line against the Red Death, Daniel Garcia. Which, if you guys are a fan of Daniel Garcia, you know he can go toe to toe when it comes to Christian Cage, and Christian Cage continue to be the MVP of the AEW right now. Continue to put on a banger matches, single matches, as he's gearing up to work his way towards his next Fallon flu. Most likely, probably will end up being Adam Copeland in the long run. But this match went a distance from my own hot take, including a nice little transition of moves, chain wrestling, nice little suplexes. Daniel Garcia got a couple of little rallies back and forth and delivered from his own perspective. Also, there was a couple of headlock exchanges and a couple of momentum flexes from Christian's point of view. And then also there was a nice transition towards the end of the direct match where the patriarchy was getting involved and it was causing a call of the modem as Abby Edwards had her hands full when it came to everybody that was at ringside and getting involved, and then basically just interchanging themselves and getting themselves involved, including with a couple punches and everything in between. And the conclusion of the match ended up with Mother Wayne ended up slapping directly to Garcia, and then Christian hit the kill switch back to hit him again. And then Christian Cage ended up getting his legs given out. And then Garcia tried to hit him with a power driver for a close 2 count. And then, of course, the jackknife pin. But then from there, Christian Cage got the ropes, and then Mother Wayne hit her interference. And then Nick Wayne also interfered. And then Christian Cage ended up picking the victory with the kill switch and actually retaining the AEW World TNT Championship. This was a nice transitional match back and forth. I highly enjoyed this match. This was a nice little sneaker when it came to kicking off AEW. I feel like this was really set the tone of how the whole entire night was going to go directly when it came to AEW. And you couldn't ask for anything more when it came to how Christian Cage fully delivers each and every single week when he's performing and doing his thing. Same when it comes to Daniel Garcia. Daniel Garcia really knows how to be in his own, and he's really just becoming really great in his craft and being a known technical wrestler who can go the distance and really deliver himself directly from there, from each match that he has had over the common weeks. The next following match we end up having American Dragon Bryan Danielson versus Eddie Kingston. This was for the AEW Continental Crown Championship. This match was really good from start to finish, including with everything they were doing. The feud, standing feud, if you know their feud, has been long due since RH days, since when Daniel Bryanson was calling Eddie Kingston a bomb. And then also, there was a whole lot of high drama going directly into this match, as respect was definitely on the line when it came to this match. This match fully delivered to keep the fans highly invested tonight. The fans really were in tune and really enjoyed this match. If you enjoyed this match, I'd like to know from your personal point of view. Comment down below. And also, to keep the algorithm up, feel free to share this, and we keep things rolling from there, as I appreciate you guys coming through to go through with this review for AEW Revolution. The conclusion of the match went to distance with a couple of chops from Eddie Kingston, including with a couple of back draws. And then, of course, Daniel Bryan was able to get, not Daniel Bryan, but Bryan Danielson was able to get the label lock until Eddie Kingston was able to get his foot directly and drag himself over to the ropes. And then Jolly himself with a position with a couple other moves directly from there, including Insecurity, including the back fist of the future. And then, of course, they were trading trading Northern Light bombs back and forth with each other, back and forth, until Danielson was able to hit the Bushido knee, and with including with a folding press. And then Eddie Kingston still wouldn't want to be down for this match. Referee Stephon Smith, he was the referee involved in this match. He really was just letting things go between this match. This match went fully the whole entire 20 minutes. This was a phenomenal match. Couldn't even go for anything better. They also continue to trade blows back and forth, including palm strikes. including the Batana style, strong style kicks back and forth from Daniel Bryan. And then Eddie Kingston ended up doing a couple paint brushes, but ended up notoriously picking up the victory as he hit the Tiru power bomb, which is basically a power bomb into jackknife pin, and he ended up picking up the victory to retain the AEW Crown Championship. I was kind of surprised on a decision to keep the title on Eddie Kingston directly. From my own hot take, I feel like Bryan Danielson deserved to have this championship directly, and I feel like he was in the right take when it came to the position where he needed to be for that that title. The gain is actually his first AEW championship, but they're still going longevity with Eddie Kingston. They're just giving him the title for right now, which I feel like I don't know where they have the direction with him. They still kind of him lost in the shuffle. But for my own hot take, I would like to see something better when it comes to Eddie Kingston, where they put him, maybe put him some more spotlight when it comes to him defending the title on international matches, or even set him up a little bit more on Rampage. But we shall see in the long run when it comes to what they do directly with Eddie Kingston. The next match was Brian Cage, Chris Jericho, Dante Martin, Hook, Lance Archer, Magnus Luchador, and Warlow, Powerhouse Hobbs. This was an all-star scramble match. This was a replacement of the Meat Madness. Unfortunately, we had Keith Lee, and also we ended up having Miro, who was currently injured. They're currently out at the moment. They was gonna have a Meat Madness between all the big guys directly that was on display for AEW. But Tony Khan had to switch this match up directly to make it an all-star pandemonium from start to finish. I feel like this match really was okay. I feel like it was a little bit slow. Warlow was all over the place. He got a nice little black eye from it. Other people were getting involved, including nice little high spots by Jericho, by getting Will Hobbs with that nice little fire extinguisher. I think that was a fire extinguisher, or that was a smoke screen directly. I wasn't fully sure directly from there. And all the while, everything else was pretty chill from there for the most part when it came directly to this match. What's going on, Anwar? Thank you for coming through, showing your love and support over there on the YouTube channel. It's always appreciated, champ. Um, Also, Jericho got involved with a couple of slip-ins and out. Magnus, he did a nice little tightrope moves with Dante Martin. They did a nice full flash when it came to this match with a whole type of moves directly from the shorter guys. And on top of that, everything else is went from there, including Hook being involved, doing his couple of his trade suplexes, and everything else went smoothly from there when it came to that direct match. But unfortunately, the match ended up becoming a pinfall as Warlow ended up picking up the victory over Dante Martin to gain his shot for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship at any point in time that he feels fit, or he wants to deliver. So we shall see what happens in the long run when it comes to Warlow. I still like Warlow is a big player when it comes to being on the field. Feel like he got a nice reset once he came back, but then they have him in the Undisputed Kingdom, which I don't know how I feel directly about that directly in the long run when it comes to Warlow. I would like to see a little bit more of him and actually see him go on his own singles run and just be separated from everybody and just go on the terror and probably just be a heel. I prefer to him see what he can do as a heel, but we shall see when it comes directly to Warlow and where his position will be once he gets in a title hunt for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. But I'd like to know you guys' take as well. Comment down below, put some thumbs up. Share it as well. If you got friends who are into AEW or professional wrestling, feel free to share it and get it along there. It's highly appreciated, and I would love for you guys to partake. And if you are coming on Twitter, Facebook, or even on YouTube, feel free to comment, and I'll reply back to you if you have any questions. Or if you can't hear me directly on the mic, feel free to let me know directly so I can know if I need to make adjustments to this production. The next following match was Orange Cassidy versus Roderick Strong. It was for the AEW International Championship. This match was pretty decent. Roderick Strong controlled the majority of this match. This was hard hitting from start to finish. These boys put on a clinic when it came to this match directly. It was a nice hard spot from Roderick Strong when he hit that nice back suplex directly into the turnbuckle. It was kind of a little nasty, but Roderick Strong really was on his A game, and he was controlling the ribs the majority of this match. And he really was straightforward, straight, serious. He wouldn't let up on Orange Cassidy throughout majority of this match. Orange Cassidy was getting his hot streak as well throughout the majority of this match, with a couple of transitional moves. He also hit a couple stun gun millionaire and a couple other of his transitional trademark moves. But the fall ended up happening directly in this match, was short lived by Orange Cassidy when Roderick Strong ended up hitting the end of Heartache and becoming the new AEW World International Champion. This match was phenomenal. I feel like this is one of those top 10 matches in AEW so far this year in 2024. But I look forward to seeing if they're going to mingle again and go from there. But as not Kyle Wright, but basically Roderick Strong was celebrating with the Undisputed Kingdom, we got a surprise from Kyle O'Reilly, who made his AEW return, which was amazing feedback. He came back with a whole different look, longer hair, little scruffier look, looking kind of his new transition directly from there. And then Undisputed Kingdom ended up was so excited to see him. They gave him a hug and everything in between, and they were celebrating, and they were trying to give him an Undisputed Kingdom shirt, and he kind of turned it down, and he kind of was just so serious. He walked up to Roderick Strong, whispered to him directly in his ear. It kind of shocked Roderick Strong whatever he said, but he understood directly. And Kyle O'Reilly made his exit directly from ringside from there. As the build up from this is, where does Kyle O'Reilly go from here? And do you see anything in the future between those two mingling? Or will he eventually join Undisputed Kingdom in the long run? I know a lot of people had their takes on if he was going to join. From my own hot take, I feel like he was going to be one of those original ones under the mask that was going to join. But still going based on that devil angle, I feel like that was still the disappointment angle of the year from last year, from 2023. But it's a great feat to see Kyle O'Reilly back in AEW, and it's amazing. I appreciate seeing him making his initial return after being injured for so long, and he's surely missed. And it was kind of gracious to see him make his presence and see where he goes from there. The Blackpool Combat Club, Claudio Castagnoli and John Moxley, they were in a hot feud tag team match against FTR, Cash Wheeler, and Dax Harwood. This match really went the distance from my own personal view. This match really delivered on all cylinders of tag team action. These boys have really great chemistry from both sides. FTR really was doing everything, and BCCC really was doing everything as well. This match really had a couple of uppercuts, hard hitting strong style shots, people getting busted open left and right. This match really fully delivered on the card for tag team action. If you're really a fan of tag team and traditional style, old school, like the Enforcers or even the Midnight Express style tag team, I highly recommend for you to check out this match if you have not still got your way over to see AEW Revolution tonight. Either you can check it out on a YouTube clip, or even somebody will hot stream it, or even just pay for it and go check it on Bleacher Report. But I highly recommend to go see this tag team match, as these boys really put on a clinic. They went back and forth with chain wrestling, doing things the right way, cutting things into the middle, hot tags in between, even breakup tags when they needed the right spot and the right time when people were making a pinfall on the signature moves. Everything else, went everything from there, and everything else has been going on there from there. And other than that, everything else has been really going smoothly when it comes to everything in between with these boys back and forth on the tag team action. Appreciate it, man. Manon, go over there on YouTube. He basically just said, you just continue to catch up on the uploads and keep it up. Most definitely, champ. I appreciate you rolling through and showing your love. And I also, if you're uploading stuff as well, I will make my way over there to your YouTube channel as well and show my support and love from there. This match pretty much had a lot of nice transition when it came to tag team old school moves, like old school style. We saw the Doomsday Device put in display. We also saw the Ace Crusher. We also saw the old school Demolition Elbow Drop, which that was a nice little homage. I feel like AEW, not AEW, but WWE needs to go ahead and put Demolition in the Hall of Fame. It's fully overdue, and I feel like those boys need to be put in directly when it comes to the Hall of Fame. If you guys feel like Demolition needs to be put in, I'd like to really you guys to put it in and let Triple H know, like, hey, we need Demolition directly to be in the WWE Hall of Fame because I feel like that's way overdue. They're one of those traditional '80s tag team that really just left a mark. And so many tag teams are still using their finishers and signatures that Demolition really put on a nice mark when it came to professional wrestling. Also throughout this match, Claudio ended up getting a couple blows in with a couple of big boots, including European uppercuts. And then there was some nice transition with pile drivers, backdrops in both teams. And then John Moxley was going for the Death Rider, but of course got to a 2 count. And then they ended up doing a Bulldog choke as well from the corner when John Moxley did it over to Dax Harwood. And a couple of nice little transitional in betweens when it came to this match directly, including the Heat Seeker and a couple other directly moves. As the match ended up progressing and going towards the end, the match ended up ending on the referee stoppage as it was a body scissors and also a headlock and a bulldog choke directly by John Moxley and Clark Castelloni as these boys put FTR to sleep and they didn't tap out. They just basically just passed out. So I see a long-standing feud as these two tag teams really are going to be the next feature when it comes to tag team wrestling as they continue to put themselves on the mark as BCC. John Moxley and Castelloni are going to be the new tag team in the win of basically feuding with House of Black and a couple other teams like Top Flight and the Young Bucks and so many more. So I'd like to do all you guys' hot take on that directly when it comes to tag team wrestling directly. Where would you like to see AEW when they push themselves directly? Would you like to see them go into more comedy style entertainment, or would you like to see more transitional chain wrestling with double team moves or anything in between? I'd like to know you guys' direct hot take from there when it comes to that directly, when it comes to AEW. The next final match was Deonna Purrazzo and Toni Storm for the AEW Women's World Heavyweight Championship. This match was really good. Women's Showcase. They really put on a nice little moves. They have really great chemistry back and forth. They really know how to find out each other and really know how to work together. These ladies put on a nice banger when it came to the women's division, and they really was in their own directly from my own hot take. There was a nice little couple of Fuji arm bars, including barrel rolls, the reversals back and forth, lariats, transitional chops. Even Deonna got a couple of blows in as well with a couple of her knee tremors and stuff like that that she had pretty much was familiar with, including Toni Storm was able to do her hip attack as well, which have been one of her major trademarks directly from there. The conclusion of this match was like really quick, but not too bad whatsoever. As the conclusion ended up being with Toni Storm hitting the Storm Zero to retain the AEW World Championship after Luther distracted the referee, and Mariah May made the save to basically stop Deonna Purrazzo from making Toni Storm tap. And so Deonna had the upper hand of winning, but the referee was distracted on the top, and Mariah May made the save, continue to keep Toni Storm the win as being the AEW Women's Champion. So we're gonna see who her next opponent it may be. Maybe it may be Mariah, maybe it'll be somebody coming in to win on Big Business, which I'm familiar with. It may most likely will be Mercedes Moné. But when she makes her return, so we shall see what happens with her. I know she will be probably the next one to probably step up and go on for the big championship. I would have thought she would go on for the TBS, as they still don't know what to do directly with Julia Hart. But we shall see directly in the long run what will happen directly from there. Then we switched things over to, I feel like this is probably the runner-up of the match of the year. It was Konosuke Takeshita taking on Will Ospreay. Don Callis was on commentary, and this match was hard-hitting directly out the gate, straight from start to finish. If you are really into chain wrestling, technical style wrestling, like the old school Eddie Guerrero, Gory Guerrero, Chris Benoit, It's some Kurt Angle style kind of transitional singles technical wrestling. You can't go wrong when it came to these boys. These boys really knew how to put on a clinic directly when it came to AEW pro wrestling. It was a nice little transitional kicks and transitional suplexes and backstops. And then there was a nice little spot from Koneska when he tried to hit a brain buster off the top rope but missed it. But Ospreay ended up landing awkwardly directly on the turnbuckle onto his kidneys. It was a nice tiger driver in between and a couple other springboards, a blue Thunderdome. It was a nice homage to AJ Styles when Will Ospreay ended up hitting the Styles Clash directly onto Kesha. It was including barrel roll German suplexes, transitional hot tags. They really knew the hot and cold of getting the crowd directly into this match. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. Looked like I had a little delay or a little disconnection directly. All the while, appreciate you guys still tuning in and checking everything out. Looked like it was a little mishap. Something happened with a little display. Well, I'm having a little bit of wind out here in the Vegas market, but I'm still making the best of it when it comes to everything that's going on directly. Um, but other than that, everything else was pretty smooth back in the match. The match was pretty standard, straightforward. This match really delivered, gave his best hot take when it came to each match. And I couldn't ask for anything better when it came to these boys putting on a full clinic back and forth. I feel like they fully delivered when it came to everything that was going on. And you couldn't ask for anything better when it came to Will Ospreay and Konietzko Tateshka, as they really delivered and was into their own when it came to each direct match, including a couple other traditional moves to the Tiger Driver 91. And the inclusion of the match ended up being Will Ospreay ended up being the victory with the hidden blade and concluding this match directly. You couldn't ask for anything better when it came to Will Ospreay. Will Ospreay continued to be great on his own, and you couldn't ask for anything better when it came to Will Ospreay. He's just the future of AEW, and you can't ask for anything better when it comes to Will Ospreay directly. Um, After the conclusion of the match, the Doc Callis family was able to celebrate directly in the ring, and everything else went smoothly from there. As Kyle Fletcher came down as well to celebrate and hug each other. But then also we got a videograph that Kyle Fletcher versus Will Ospreay will be this following Wednesday on Dynamite. So that's going to be a nice match as those two brothers have been like blood brothers, as they have a really long history of really working together and figuring each other out, as they know how to really go. They really know how to put them spots into the matches directly. So I look forward to seeing Kyle Fletcher versus Will Ospreay this following Wednesday. So it looks like everything else is going to be pretty smooth from there when it came to this match. So we're moving forward to the Hangman page. Samoa Joe and Shane Swerve Strickland AEW World Championship match. I feel like this match really put on its own. It was pretty delivering from start to finish. The three men really have a bad blood, but more so it was just Swerve and Adam Page. They really have a bad blood and kind of just got themselves distracted throughout majority of this match, including just really just going at each other and throwing each other off directly when it came to the AEW division. Um, the majority of the match, it was nice little elbows, transitional moves, suplexes, flooring, including Swerve with his transitional moves, including muscle busting from Samoa Joe, including a nice 450 splash by Strickland. Hangman Adam Page continued to be in his own, continue to pay that card to be in the heel. This also was a couple of nice little throws, windmill punches, really back and forth with insecurities and everything in between. The conclusion of this match went the distance as how Hangman Adam Page ended up throwing him into the ring to the skin of the cat, and Shane went out and hit him with the buckshot, and then Joe hit him with the lariat of his own, and then set the muscle butter in the corner, but Swerve fights out of it, and then another buckshot on Samoa Joe, and then Shane hit a buckshot on Hangman, and then the JML driver connects, but Joe was with his half as a suplex, grabs Page with the Coquina clutch, and makes him tap out from there. As Samoa Joe took advantage of the standing bad blood between Hangman Adam Page and Shane Swerve Strickland, as they really continue to go a few, so they're going to still. I feel like they're going to be back in the line as Samoa Joe's waiting for his next challenger in the win, which he has Warlow in the background and a couple other people, which I feel like who are better safe bet to put on the table. Who will you feel like to see when it comes to the limelight of facing them or getting involved when it comes to Samoa and Joe directly? I feel like there's a couple of people that could be in the limelight. We got Adam Cole, who should be making his return soon, directly from his ankle injury. We also have Warlow in the background. We also have Dante Martin. We have Will Hobbs. It's so many guys that I feel like who are deserving of getting that top spot. But we shall see in the long run where things go directly when it comes to them directly. But I appreciated that match directly. And I feel like them boys really put on a nice clinic from start to finish. And you couldn't ask for anything more directly when it came to that triple threat match. Now we move into the main event of the night. The main event of the night was a nice feat when it came to Sting's final match. It was amazing seeing him going on his own, doing his thing, and the way how Sting was fully carrying himself. You couldn't ask for anything better. And it was a nice feat to see Sting have a nice standing ovation, and people really was giving him his props and giving him his flowers, as this was Sting's final match. If you're used to Sting from the old WCW days, so on, including his WWE run, even his AEW days, that he's officially announcing his retirement as he's getting up there in age, and now he's looking to sail in the sunset and see how it goes with retirement. As this was a nice send-off match for Sting directly. And you couldn't ask for anything better when it came to Sting. Sting's always have a longevity from his full career, from being a surfer to the Crow to being a Joker Sting. You couldn't ask for anything better when it came to his deliverance and his presence. And I always enjoy Sting over the years and his characters from when he was in all of these so many promotions. And I appreciate his work from what he has delivered to me as a fan. And I couldn't ask for anything better when it comes to the icon directly. This tag team match went a nice little distance. This was a nice 22-minute match. They actually made it go a little bit further. It was a nice little transitional tag team moves back and forth, including a nice high spot with the coffin drops, follow up with a couple of power bombs and to the ladder and a couple other things in between. This was a nice tornado tag and a nice little transitional lariats, including they was throwing glass, bringing all of these weapons into his match directly, and everything in between, including the Young Bucks going for the super kick party on Sting, but he fired up and beat his chest, and then a couple of chops, and then did the Stinger splash in the corner. Both Nicholas and Mathew, and then also he transitioned the EVP, another EVP trigger, and then Sting kicked out at one, and Sting really was rallying to his own, and he really was just a nice send off. And then they set him up for the TK driver, but Darby Allin was alive, and he pushed Nicholas off the turnbuckle through a table, and then Sting hit the Scorpion Death drop, but he kicks out with a coffin drop, and then one last Scorpion Death drop directly, and then the match is over by submission. As Sting is going out on his high horse as being the AEW World Tag Team Champion, so most likely they're going to have a tournament to deliver the next AEW World Tag Team Champions. But I highly enjoyed this main event. This match really fully delivered on all cylinders. For Sting to go out on his high horse and really go out with his hand on it, with his basically with his head held high, as most talent don't really get to leave on their own accord and really want to retire when they feel like they are ready to retire. But Sting really got the chance to really retire at his own accord, and it was an amazing thing to see how things went. I feel like that was a great call to let Sting go ahead and win over and go from there. So we shall see what happens on the long run, where the next standings go for the AEW World Tag Team Championship. Will Darby Allin begin a new tag team partner, or will they set up for a tag team tournament directly along the lines for AEW in the near future? But all the while, everything was pretty smooth. I'll give this pay per view was a B minus for my own hot take. You couldn't ask for anything better when it came to the deliverance and everything in between. And it was amazing when it came to directly from there. So other than that, that was the conclusion of the match. We've been on for like almost cool 45 minutes, which is not too bad, not too shabby when it comes to the limelight of everything. But let's get into more news when it comes to we got a WWE 2K24 that's coming out in basically a day. I'd like to know you guys' hot take, who you guys will be using, where you guys will be standing directly when it comes to that directly. And I also like to know what's your favorite game, wrestling game in the past and present, and more than anything else. Let's go ahead and get into this giveaway that I was getting down to the nitty gritty. That most of you guys probably will just time in and coming out. I'm going to go ahead and get ready to let the video play. And I already did the raffle. I did this earlier today, so it already assembled and basically went through its own thing. And it was able to pick the winner directly for the WWE 2K24 video game giveaway. I'm giving away a deluxe edition to a lucky winner who's tuning in or subscribed and made itself known. But all the while, let's go ahead and get into this, as I appreciate you guys coming out your time. And let's go ahead and get down to this as we're get a nice little drum roll as we get things going. And let's go ahead and announce the winner of the giveaway for the W2K24. Appreciate you guys.
Was it not enough, the scar you left on me?
All right. There's it is right there. As they push it out, we got Nugent. Basically, feel free to message me, as basically I will get in contact with you as well and try to correspond, as you are the winner of the W2K24, as I will correspond with you, get you all set up, and then go from there and be giving that giveaway. I appreciate you guys tuning in and going from there. Also, I'm going to post it up on my Twitter as well to get in contact with that person, let them know that person had won. And stay tuned on this channel, as more giveaways are being going in the near future, as I'm getting more involved directly on my channel a lot more. I know a lot more people would like to see me get more and more involved, post more videos. And so I'm going to be doing that into your weekly home, pushing it a lot more, including on Mondays, where I will be involved on Monday Night Raw, Tuesdays for NXT, Wednesdays for AEW, Thursdays for TNA, Fridays for SmackDown, and sometimes maybe for Rampage. Also Saturdays for Collision. So I may be busy all week, basically pushing, pumping videos. Also, I will be doing reaction videos to YouTube videos, movies, trailers, everything in between, because I'm going to be pushing this really hard to go full time when it comes to this channel. But I highly appreciate you guys coming out, and you guys are always appreciated. All the while, comment down below, like, comment, subscribe. just get on the road to 1,000 subscribers as I'm pushing to that. And if I get to 1,000 subscribers, I'll be giving away WrestleMania 40 edition of WrestleMania WWE 2K24. And also also the next thing I'll be working on is towards Modern Warfare, the next one that will be coming out directly. So let's go ahead and get into it. All the while, you guys are always appreciated. Much love, respect. Until the next episode, I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.